Sage Wonder here, and welcome to my van down by the river. So, they're releasing the Fisa Memo. What is the Fisa Memo, and why is that such a big deal? So, the Fisa Court is a special court that is set in place to hear arguments by law enforcement as to whether they should use the massive surveillance system that they have developed, designed specifically to spy on non-Americans. So really this whole system they put together, which is vast, was never designed to spy on United States citizens. It was designed as an intelligence gathering device to try to catch terrorists from other countries or people who are in this country colluding with other terrorist organizations globally against the interests of the American people. And the Fisa Court's job is to examine data from organizations like the FBI and the NSA to decide whether or not they can use this surveillance system to surveil American citizens, because sometimes American citizens get caught up in the surveillance of foreign entities, and you know, they might be involved in some way. So the NSA or the FBI might put together a pitch, as it were, an argument to the Fisa Court to unmask the identities of these American citizens and allow them to be more deeply surveilled for matters of national security. So, what is this Fisa Court Memo that was written by Nunes, Congressman Nunes? Okay, so he wrote a 4-page memo which takes all of this information that has to do with the alleged improprieties and missteps and absolute corrupted use of the Fisa Court to spy on American citizens for other than national security reasons. That the FBI, in particular, has been using the Fisa Court to spy on the American people for their own purposes and their own reasons. And that this particular instance, where we're talking about this Fisa Memo, what is at the core of this is how the FBI, working with the Obama administration and Obama's Department of Justice, took falsified information that they knew was false. This I forget the name of it, the Fusion GPS PP-Gate dossier, this false dossier, this completely made up, completely fabricated dossier that has been debunked, that has been you know, proven to be false and to be fake. They used that as their grounds to go to the Fisa Court and obtain warrants to spy on Donald Trump and his associates. And that the entire purpose of this was to try to gather any kind of information on Donald Trump that would prove that he is dirty. So what they did is they basically went and got a trumped up, no pun intended, accusation that was completely untrue, used it to deceive the Fisa Court, obtain illegal warrants then, or immoral warrants, to go after Donald Trump for the purpose of discrediting him. Now, what really makes this interesting is when you pair it up with the emails and the text messages that the FBI is trying to destroy, cover up, and refuses to give to Congress or to make public. And in these, the ones that we have been able to get our hands on, despite them hiding them, destroying them, trying to stonewall Congress, that these emails and text messages prove that this was a plot by the deep state, the FBI, and that they were working in conjunction with both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, the President of the United States, to deceive the Fisa Court and trump up these charges that they called an insurance policy. That their first efforts were designed to stop Donald Trump from becoming president, and if he were by some chance to become president, then they had this insurance policy, this Plan B, of framing him for some kind of improprieties, and therefore hopefully impeaching him from the presidency. Or hopefully the first plan A was to stop him from becoming president. Plan B was to impeach him and remove him from office by any means necessary. And that means if they got to lie and make stuff up, that's what they got to do. And that's what they did. That the entire Trump Russia collusion story is completely fabricated, completely made up. It was a pre-planned attack against our president, and it's a sign and evidence of how the FBI sees themselves as above the law, as actually the real government, while presidents are just puppets. And Barack Obama was in on this. In fact, some of the things that I'm beginning to hear that are in this FISA memo and some other documents that are being passed around in classified circles right now, suggest that at the very tip-top of this was Barack Obama. That Barack Obama told these people to break these laws. And in the FISA memo and in the supporting documents that are still classified, I hope that they will release the supporting documents that Nunes based his FISA memo on. That those will be released as well. And now, Barack Obama's name will be redacted. It's in the FISA memo, I've been told, or I've heard, and but it has been redacted. But one can guess where his name is, who they're talking about in the redacted version. So, what does this mean? This means that if the FISA memo, authored by Nunes, and all of the supporting documents he used to write the memo were to be made public, Barack Obama and McCabe, who just stepped down as deputy director of the FBI, along with Mueller, who was fired by Donald Trump, the former head of the FBI, or not Mueller, I'm sorry, Comey, and potentially Mueller, whose name is also in this FISA memo, his name will also be redacted more than likely and not released. But, yeah, Comey most definitely was in on this. He's dirty. Trump was right to fire him. And Mueller should be arrested as well. Will these people be arrested, or will they just be discredited and fired? I guess time will tell on that. But the truth is coming out that our corrupted government sought to destroy an elected president for their own political purposes with lies and illegal surveillance. And I think it also shows this surveillance Big Brother system is out of control. That they being the FBI, routinely abuse the FISA court to surveil United States citizens, which is very much a violation of our privacy against illegal search and seizure. So, violation of the Fourth Amendment is what we're talking about here. They violated Donald Trump's Fourth Amendment rights. They're probably violating your Fourth Amendment rights. And the deep state does not give a flip about our Constitution. And they are violating it on a regular basis. So, the proverbial defecated material is about to hit the proverbial rotating blade. So, it looks to me like there's going to be more resignations, potentially more firings, and maybe even some arrests. So the Trump collusion delusion is falling apart. And what really blows me away is to watch, if you take a minute and watch CNN and MSNBC, if you're watching only them and not watching Fox, then you have no idea what's going on, and you think that the Trump-Russia collusion story is going to be a thing, and it's actually going to stick, and they're going to get Donald Trump, which is complete fabricated. It's complete fantasy. It's not going to happen. They don't have any evidence. He didn't collude. But what we do have evidence to is the FBI's corruption and the violation of our Fourth Amendment rights to privacy. All right, so we're going to sit back and watch. It should be an interesting week. Now, the Fisa Court Memo, they did vote on it last night to release it to Congress, and they've put it on the desk of the President of the United States. He has up to 5 days to decide whether or not to release this to the general public. Insider sources have said that Donald Trump intends to release the Fisa Court Memo to the general public. Now, the thing they passed last night, the Congress passed, it says that Donald Trump has 5 days to decide whether or not to release it. Does that mean he has to use all 5 days and we have to wait a total 5 days? Or could he waive those 5 days, look at it, and release it tomorrow? It could be released today, potentially. That I'm not sure about, whether he has to hold on to it for 5 days and consider it, or whether he just has 5 days to consider it. Kind of a big difference. Will we see it in a week, or will we see it now? That I'm not sure of, but we are more than likely going to see it. Or not, but the Congress will see it, and I think that's important as well, for all of the members of Congress to see this. But I want the American people to see this 4-page Fisa Court Memo so that you can see what our alphabet soup, deep state, federal law enforcement officers are doing to our Constitution, and how they're using this surveillance system to spy on the common American. God save our republic.